naked, a lot of them, and hopefully some of them had their bottom parts covered up. But our people were taking strip of everything, even their heritage. Yeah, the women had something. Our women had something. Our women were the excellence of excellency. They were something to be admired. They were something to shoot for other nations. These women today have disgraced our women by putting themselves up above our women. But you know what? There's going to become a registration. When Yashayah comes back, he's going to restore us back to where we were. Well, it's coming about. Go ahead, Prophet. Read, and I love it. I love how the Most High had y'all adored. Read verse 19 again.
The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell.
Okay, there used to be a sweet smell when our doors were around. Even when they had that time of visitation, their menstrual cycle.
It was flowers.
Okay,
according to Scripture.
That was a distinct blessing that the Most High put on our women, and it gave up a sin of roses, right, Pop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle of rent, and instead of well-set hair, baldness. And instead of stomachers, of gurgling, of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty.
Now go back. Read verse 24 again. Now, this is talking to the daughters of Zion, which is in this case here, because they started off talking about Judah. Judah.
Right.
Judah. I'm going to say Judah because when you look at the Gadites, they have their hair. When you look at Naphtali, they have their hair. This is specifically affecting basically Judah. Go ahead. Read verse 24.
And it came to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink.
Okay.
And instead of girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth.
Okay.
And burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war.
Now, this is the Most High. This is the Most High talking to the daughters of Zion, and it was in the time of Isaiah. And this was what happened to the men, but the men are falling right now, right? And the men are falling. So that is a prophecy that there's going to be a shortage of men. Daughters of Zion, there's going to be a shortage of men. Okay, but because of your proudness, I'm going to do this against you. This you women. This is what y'all going to face. All right. So there is, when it comes to Israel, there is an overcomeness that we all have to face. The men have to be restored back to their normal place, and the women too. Things were taken from the women. All right. Our women never had to go to no one and buy hair. The Bible is the answer for every situation in our lives, brothers and sisters. Where the people, I look around, I see my daughters, I see my sisters, my mothers of Zion, my brothers and sisters, the females. They're in that condition. They're Israel. They're Judah. I see that's on them. No other nation does that. We are the only nation that goes to buy hair like that. Our women. All right? The Most High said that our women had a built-in girdle. It protected their form. Women, return back to the Most High. Keep the commandments. Follow what the Bible says. The Most High is going to bring you a man of character and dignity.
A woke up man.
A woke up man. This is how you redeem. This is how you wake up, sisters, how you get your redemptions back, how you get your blessing back. Go back, first of all, go back to the Most High. Study the Word, keep the commandments. Fear the Most High. That's how you fear the Most High. Keep the commandments. Love Yashayah, but keep the commandments. And the Most High is going to bring you a man that's woke up. then everything's going to line up for you perfectly. I know they talk about women's live. I know they do. I know. And you know what? I'm with you. You got to be strong. You got to watch out for yourself, women. I'm not saying that. You have to. You don't want to be taken advantage of by no one. A black man, white man, Chinese man, no man. But there's an order. There's an order you have to be under. You have to be up under that man. But he has to be a godly man. Not just any man. He has to be a godly man. Once you're in that, once you're walking in that line, in that order, then you're blessed. And the Most High is going to bless you.
And basically, this was a part of the ruin of Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen. It was part of Judah fallen. So, this emphasized all of the things that would begin to tear down in the woman, and that it had talked about how they were versus how they will be due to the curses. But certainly the men falling by the sword and the mighty men of war, there would be a warning and we were losing the war. But why were we losing it? Specifically because their tongues and their doings are against the Lord.
And now, look, the men had a bad tongue too. I told you that when you started off, it talked about when you go right back, read the prophet. Where you at? You right there in Isaiah, in verse 8. Mm-hmm. This is men and women doing this, not just women.
Right.
Where you, prophet? Chapter 3, verse 8.
Chapter 3, verse 8. For Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory.
The eyes of his glory.
And so when we think about the eyes of the glory being provoked, when we continue to read and see the demise and the downfall of the women specifically here, don't take offense, because we are one. And this is as the Most High's eyes of his glory was being provoked and taken away, because we no longer because our mouths came against his word, and we chose to take up with and mix with others, taking on their false gods, because that's what this is about. This is the retaliation of that, because you have ruined the glory that I should focus on. The glory that you were focusing on will be taken away, and that is the woman.
That is the woman. You know what? There is, and that's that last verse that the prophet has read here over in verse 25. There is going to be a shortage of men. When you read chapter 4, verse 1, it tells you that only a few men really in the Most High is going to be available in that day. Other women are going to latch on to that man for protection. Mm-hmm. Right? Read that verse. Read verse 1 in chapter 4.
And in that day, 7 women shall take hold. Seven women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and
we got our own stuff. We don't need your
and
stuff.
Wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Now, only let us be called by thy name to take away thy reproach. Brothers, your name is important. Mm-hmm. All right? The Most High looks to you as the authority in the earth, the leaders in the earth. Stand up, be the men that you're supposed to be.
And understand, it was the men. And that's something. Even though the women are being highlighted here, the women are being debased because of the men's tongue. Mm-hmm. It's not the women's tongue. Mm-hmm. The world would have you believe, because they always cater to no. Mm-hmm. It's the men, because they're the heads of the household. Mm-hmm. And it's clear there, because when you go into Isaiah 4, mm-hmm. they're running to trying to find some cover. Mm-hmm. In those times, it was custom that your man covered you. And if he was a man of the Most High that kept the laws, then you were adorned, you were glory in his sight, and that was a part of the blessing that the Most High gave you. But because of their mouths coming against the Most High by way of turning against his laws and his prophets and his ways, now this is what you get to view. It is no longer glorious. Since you provoke me and take away my glory, yours shall be taken away too.
Yours shall be taken away too. And you know what? I love it. In chapter 3, the prophet is brought out how beautiful and how adorned that the daughters of Zion were. Okay, real people. This is not talking about a place here. This is not location. This is talking about people. Chapter 4 brings it out. We're going to finish up with chapter 4. Then we're going to get ready to close it down for the day for this lesson. But keep reading. Read verse 1. Keep read chapter 4, prophet.
All right. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of the Lord the Most High be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord the Most High shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning.
And by the spirit of burning. That's just when we're going to be cleansed again, brothers, because when we meet Yashayah, and we're going to go through that wilderness again, he's going to purge us. And out of that fire is going to come pure gold. Okay? We're going to go through a cleansing again. But this is the redemption of the daughters of Zion as well. There's going to be a redemption for us.
And he doesn't redeem us separately. If he's redeeming the daughters of Zion, that means the men have stood up first, because he does everything in order. So when you read this, don't separate. When you read this, understand what he's saying. If the daughters of Zion are being restored, that means that the men have been restored, because the Most High does not do things out of order.
No.
He's not lifting up the daughters of Zion to stand over his men.
Exactly.
Never will he do that. Verse 5, and the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night. For upon all the glory shall be a defiance, and there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert form, a covert from storm and from rain.
All praise to the Most High, brothers and sisters. This lesson right here is a wonderful lesson. It's a lesson that needs to be talked about, and it's well overdue. Our people go about their daily lives doing things, not understanding why they do it. And the Bible brings it out. This is why you do it. All right? This is why you do it. Y'all need to wake up. You're under a curse. You've been living up under a curse. It's a curse that affects generations, generations, generations. Why the generations, Prophet? Why is it that curse generational? Because we did what?
We disobeyed.
We disobeyed, right?
Disobeyed the law.
And we didn't keep what?
We didn't keep the commandments. We didn't keep the commandments. And again, the topic today is daughters of Zion. Daughters of Zion. And we read some things, and you may have credence in your spirit and may have been offended. Don't be offended, because this is showing you how the glory and the very thing that you ripped away from the Most High. We are called his daughter. And he is our husband. So when you turn away, it's a form of adultery. And so you strip down when a man, so let's put it in a physical capacity. When you, if someone should cheat on their husband, commit adultery, the wound and the pain that person experiences and endures provokes shame.
Right.
And the glory, he turns his eyes away from the glory. So that is what this is talking about, how the glory was stripped down. Not spiritually, first, he was wounded. The Most High was wounded because you turned away from someone who took care of you day in, day out, never failed, never lied. But you still found a way to turn away from his law and not keep his commandment, and put your tongue against his word, saying that it was not good enough. And therefore, then you go down into woe unto the wicked. That is wicked in the eyes of the Most High, and you will be stripped of everything. Now, physically, can't you see someone who was married, if in fact that female cheated on him and he found out about it, she gets nothing. Give me my credit cards. I'm cutting you off. We see it all the time.
Right.
That's what's happening.
Right.
So if you want to bring this into vernacular, that's what's happening. That's why we were under the curse, because we were his bride.
Right. Right.
And we turned against him. Right. So you will be under this curse. But when you turn back, and in Isaiah chapter 4, it recognizes it. This is where it really comes out. please, we'll have our own bread and our food. We just need to be called by your name. See, no longer are we under the umbrella